Hello and good evening to all of my lovely listeners, lurkers, and watchers. I hope you are having a fantastic Wednesday night and a very merry New Year's Eve. I know I am because I'm here spending it with you. Welcome in to all of my lovely little dust bunnies. I hope you are well. I hope you are taking time to take care of yourself, as it is oh so important to do so. Don't forget the little things of self-care. It's not just about making sure you get enough food or water. Sometimes it's making sure that you rest and you take time for yourself. Just because the new year is starting does not mean that you should jump into it instantaneously. It's the middle of winter. Guy, calm down. Calm down. Give yourself some grace on the start of the new year and don't take it too hard. It's the middle of winter. You should be celebrating all of the last year's harvest. Who won? I didn't actually see. I just saw a dust bunny dancing and didn't register it as an individual. I'm sorry. I did not see. I could not commentate. I apologize. You have a 78th bottle of rum. Well, don't say anything too suspect. God damn. Okay. Poignant, because it's apparently already happening. The town of nowhere loves fucking fireworks. The town of nowhere really likes fireworks. So there's a lot of fireworks going on this evening. What can I say? Such a fantastic little town enjoys good old-fashioned explosions. So we can't do ASMR tonight. We just can't. It's not pragmatic. It's not pragmatic. So instead, we are going to be hanging out in the writing and reading category, and maybe testing something out a little bit. Maybe testing something out. We shall see how it goes. And depending, we might have some more streams in the reading and writing category, which is also seemingly where people like to host the stream book clubs. If you've been in our Discord, if you've been tapped into the wire, you may know why that's pertinent to me at the moment. Has anyone read Carmilla? I haven't. I have not read the penultimate Yuri vampire romance. I haven't treated myself to it yet. I think it's about time. But anyway, regardless, Happy New Year, everyone. Well, to those who it is Happy New Year already. Guard, you gotta tell us if anything happens. You're a few hours ahead of us. You gotta tell us if anything happens. Like, if the world explodes, you gotta give us the warning. We might be able to do something about it. Possibly. We, at the station, measure things in Central Standard Time. So it is currently 6:35 p.m. We're still quite a ways away, but I am also not going to be streaming into the new year. We will be calling it at 4 hours, which, since we got started late, will be around 10:20, 10:30-ish. But we will be here for 4 hours altogether. And then I am going to make some delicious food and spend the rest of this year with my beloved. People can't necessarily come into the station, but we found a way that Kruznik can come up onto the roof. Poggers, indeed. We have found a way that Kruznik can come onto the roof of the studio, and we have a nice little movie set up there. We're gonna watch Knives Out, I think. And then on the dinner menu, I'm thinking roasted salmon. I'm definitely thinking roasted salmon. Some kind of broccoli side dish. I was thinking cheesy broccoli rice. I don't know if I have rice ready though. And then possibly like a salad or something else. I think we have enough stuff for. I think that's going to be delicious. So I just wanted to let everybody know up front Also, I'm sure because we're not trying to keep the vibes low, mellow, we're gonna get up to some shenanigans throughout the evening. We will be getting distracted. If during the stream anybody does have any particular stories that they would like us to read, SCPs, creepypastas, no sleeps of the like, as long as the people are okay with people genuinely reading them, we'll check them out. We'll check them out. SCPs are usually free game. They like people to read them, so it's not a big deal there. But sometimes people who write no sleeps and creepypastas have turned them into actual books, you know? And you know, it's good to get permission. It's good. It's good. Right? That's what I was thinking, Cody. I wanted something just like a little bit nicer, you know? Knives Out deserves some good accoutrement to have with it. So far, hard to walk. I would imagine after 7/8, good God, please take care of yourself. I know it's important to celebrate. I know it's important to celebrate on this lovely evening. It'd also be nice if you don't start the new year with a fucking just ragged hangover. It would be really nice if you started the new year without having to deal with that. I am very happy. One, there is not a lot of alcohol in my house. I think we have a single bottle of soju. Two, I am very happy that I will probably not be partaking of it at all because my body decided that, nope, today is not the day. Today is not the day. The other day we were having problems with a strange fog drifting through nowhere, and today it's just me. It's just me. The demons inside my body they are fucking throwing down. I didn't know demons celebrated the new year like this. It's quite rude, actually. It's quite rude. But I will be okay. I'm going to have good food instead, and I'm not going to worry about it. If I do start to feel better, maybe I will have a little bit of strawberry soju. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. I did see the cutest little TikTok video of somebody wrapping a present in a formation to not indicate what it actually is. So they took a bottle of soju, a little gotcha box, and a bunch of, what are they? The little yogurt, Korean yogurt drinks. I can't remember the name of these ones. They're really good though. And they like bundled them together to look like a power drill. I thought that was very clever. I thought that was very clever. I would absolutely accept a gift like that for Christmas. It's like, the algorithm got me. This is so me-coded. Do you need more? Do you want a dust pudding that makes cocktails? No, I can't drink. It makes me extra sick and awful feely. I can't. A little bit of champagne is fine, but like I can't do anything hard or like beer. I can't do it. My body. The studio demands that I always be in a state that is available to host, and though I might not be able to host while dying from internal alcohol poisoning, I am still able to host under other conditions. The station does not mind a little bit of fog inside. So you know, we're all having fun in different ways. But I am here to provide entertainment on this lovely evening for everyone. Let's properly say hi. Hi everyone. Good evening. Good evening to all of my lovely listeners, lurkers, and watchers. Let me catch up with everybody. I know I missed some messages. Hold on. For one, Cody, thank you for the 7 stream streak. Somebody is gonna turn in like 200 or something. I'm gonna throw up. Not in a bad way. It's just what's gonna happen. I don't know how to process that kind of emotion. I do hope that all of our European dust bunnies or our global dust bunnies who have experienced the new year are having a good one so far. Kick ass. Kick ass. We do have people all around the world. There's like one dude in I think Iran. There's another person and there's like 17 people from Brazil, which shouldn't be surprising at all. Out of all of the cultural stereotypes, I think Brazil just being known for being really supportive of the things that they like is just like the cutest thing on the planet. And if you show love to Brazil, like they're just like, yeah, that's us. It's very sweet. It's very sweet. I've seen it in practice and it's just always so nice. You go jump in the pool at midnight, Cody? Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah, that's a fun thing to do. I had to light the fireworks because I'm the best. Have the best insurance. I love that. I love that. I was like, you know what? I think he can handle it. Also, if he can, in the event that he can't. I read it when I was about 13, so it has been some time. Carmilla, really? Wow. Oh, wow. I know I'm behind on a lot of stuff, but I didn't get to read a lot of the actual Gothic classics until more recently. I do like Dracula. I do like Dracula. It's a very, like, fun read. I am stupid obsessed with DRCL Midnight Children, however. That is a gorgeous manga series, and it's driving me crazy. I need the next installment. I think it's like volume 5. Oh, they left off on a cliffhanger. I need it. I need it so bad. It's such a good series so far. The first page says the records have already been altered in reference to a Dracula adaptation. When Dracula is a story that's made up of letters and diary entries and articles from newspapers. It's so good. It's so good. I want more. I want more, and I want to talk about it, but like I need people to actually read it. I know not enough people do, and it's by the same mangaka that made Innocent. Everybody needs to read it so bad. Partner had watched the whole Knives Out movie with and then got a little annoyed that I kept guessing everything. I'm a little bit insufferable when it comes to mystery anything. I understand that I'm a little bit insufferable. I either like to try to guess stuff or kind of have fun with just laying bear traps of like, ooh, maybe this kind of thing will happen, or like what direction do I actually see it going, you know? What was it? We did watch the 3rd episode of the 2nd season of Fallout today. Some stuff was a bit predictable. Some stuff was a bit predictable, I'll say, and a little bit tropey. Just a little bit tropey, I'll admit. I kind of hoped that some other crazy things would happen. But you know, it was still good in that regard. It was still good in that regard. Even if I could kind of guess stuff, I don't know. I'm still having fun with it. I think the show is horribly stupid. But God, do I love some just like unironic camp. I love it. 193 more days. That's so many! That's so many days. No. Had the luck of not having Lima at school library. Also a library that was close to my house in Card. I am a little bit jealous. I did not spend as much time in libraries as a child as I think would have made me happy. Auntie, welcome in. Happy New Year, scallywag. I'm not a pirate. This isn't pirate radio. I shall tell you, it is quite official. The FCC's bureaucracy just does not reach me here, thankfully enough. Love the traps. I know it, right? I know. It's very, that's also just something fun in mysteries. One of those goofy trope things is characters making traps in a variety of different ways. I'm a sucker in like in a mystery story where they're going through like the really robust technicals of how a particular setup works, whether it's like a dialogue trap kind of thing, like trying to get somebody to admit to something very covertly, or the actual mechanics of a physical trap. I don't know. I dig it. I dig it. I like very lofty descriptions of things. I do that a lot for like very particular sensation kind of stuff in what I write, but that makes it sound a lot weirder. I was talking about my horror stuff, not the other stuff that I write. In the horror stories that I write, I really like to focus on like funky descriptions of sensory input because I'm very susceptible to that kind of thing, and so I like giving the audience as much of an ability to sort of like sink into those little details, you know? That's what I like to do. I get back into the library and just sitting there reading. I miss the days. I miss it. I did for a little bit. When I was much younger, I tried to spend as much time out of the house as possible during all of my school breaks, which were very weird and sporadic throughout the year for a variety of reasons. Education in nowhere is not robust. So I had a lot of time where I could just like be out of the house, and I would walk up to the park and to the library that were very close to each other, and I would kind of sometimes I would see what was going on. Like there was a little bit that there was a Tai Chi class that I took. It was pretty much just filled with a bunch of the older women in town. They were all very nice. They were all very nice, and they didn't mind me at the class, so it was cool. Other times I tried to see if I could check out Anne Rice books, and they wouldn't let me. They wouldn't let me. It was fucking bullshit. Those books aren't even that graphic. They're more gory than they are sexual. It's not fair. And now I still haven't read The Vampire Lestat because I've been so behind on everything. I'm getting to it eventually. I think the show will come out before I actually read the book, which will kind of be fun because then I get to work backwards and be like, ooh, what did they change? I already know that they changed a lot with Interview. Oh god, I know that they changed a lot with Interview. Some of it lands, some of it doesn't. It's just another, like, fucked up vampire show, though. I love vampire media with disgusting characters. Nobody's good. It's great. Auntie, thank you for the stream streaks. So many people with stream streaks today. Oh my god. It's New Year's and you're choosing to hang out with me. How dare you? How dare you? Needs points to sprinkle. Wait, what kind of points? What does that mean? What kind of points are you sprinkling on your breakfast? Man, I just got a flashback to like the early 2000s when it was normal for people to put more sugar on top of very sugary cereals. Oh, good God. I had forgotten about that for a minute. It might also be a Southern American thing, I think. I think I've only seen it referenced in the terms of the South. God, we were weird. God, we were so weird. Eat it, yeah. Oh, this is a vampire household. I have a whole shelf on our big media cabinet that's just dedicated to vampire films and books that we have. We have almost the entire Hellsing series. We have Krusnik had a bunch of chibi vampire copies from when he was younger. Then I've got a few movies. I do have a copy of Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust on DVD. It's very like, oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's such a fantastic film. I really, really recommend it just in general to people. But if you like vampire stuff, it's penultimate, I think. I also have, oh gosh, what is the name of it? I've blipped. I can't remember the name of it. It is the film that's like a fake documentary kind of thing. Not documentary. It's a fake behind the scenes of what happened during the filming of the Nosferatu film in 1920. It's very interesting. You said, what if you love vampire stuff? It's good stream for it. I don't remember what words I use specifically. I'm sorry. This is a good place if people like vampire stuff because I talk about Vampire the Masquerade all the time. I talk about Dracula quite a bit, actually. Just like specifically Dracula. I talk about Castlevania a lot too because I also really like that. But in the terms of in the terms of vampire media, the Castlevania series is genuinely very, very good. I like both of them a lot. I was zoned out for a second. Oh no. That's fine. That's fine. We can all be a little bit silly tonight. You have a YouTube or something where we could listen to your voice? Thank you, Guard. That's very kind of you. Completely, actually shameless plug because somebody asked. Yes, we do have a YouTube channel. You can follow the links that are in our description to our YouTube channel, and there are a load of ASMR streams that are up there that are like way more mellow. The tone is kept very calm if you want something that doesn't get loud at any point and it's just me rambling like a crazy person to chat. If that's what you're feeling, Guard, hell yeah. Fuck it up. Also, I hope that you sleep well. Don't forget some water. You are on point. You are on point. Thought about my gifts not working again. What the fuck was up with that? Don't you use the little GIF thing in Discord? There shouldn't have been any reason why it didn't, like, you know, seed properly. It's so strange. Ain't sleeping yet. Still gonna finish the bottle. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yes, I do. Okay, I have no idea then. You were just cursed. I'm sorry. you just had a debuff today. I'm so sorry. That's very unfortunate. I don't like when that happens actually either. I'm a big tone kind of person when it comes to text messaging people of any kind. I like to put emojis and gifs and everything to really make sure people understand how I'm feeling, because it's also such a complicated emotion usually that it needs something that's kind of abstract. I use a lot of gifs of Marin Kitagawa from My Dress Up Darling because just her losing a gasket over stuff is usually how I react to things. It's it's effective. It's effective, you know, it works. I got out of my car where to realize there was a rip in the back of my pants. No, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, you poor dear. That's so sad. The universal spite debuff got you that day, my god. Normally I'm the one that has that where everything just works out terribly, but you know, some days are like that. I just get them extra so other people can have lucky days. It has to balance itself out somewhere, right? That's how statistics work. Isn't that right? Got one or two drinks, like little sips? Like sips or full 8-ounce servings? Not 8 ounces, that's too much. 6 ounces? No, wait. Yeah, if you're just like drinking rum, like over ice, it would be like, uh, wait. Do we not share ounces? I thought we shared ounces. But pint glasses if mixed with Coke. Okay. I have no idea then. I thought we shared ounces. Aw, man. Damn it. That makes things very tricky. I thought everybody shared ounces. Now I'm stressed out. Use metric stuff. I thought it was the shared thing. I could look this up, but I'm going to get horribly distracted, and I'm not here to get distracted today. It isn't, I'm sorry. God damn it! Is it just all grams? Let's just wait, though. Wait. You need something that's smaller than a pint. What's smaller than a pint? If not an ounce. What? I'm so confused. Grams and other stuff. Is it just grams? I can work with grams. It's 8 fluid ounces is 1 cup. So then the grams would be like, it says here 0.3. 0.3 grams? That doesn't make sense either. Maybe it's not the best idea to try and... Maybe it's not the best idea to try and navigate the difference in measuring systems. I'm feeling very silly because I am unwell today, but also as a drunk person, I can imagine trying to figure out the difference between our measurement systems. Oh god. Oh god. You know what? Don't stress out about it. It's okay. Don't stress out about it. It's totally fine. 10.1 ounces. That's a serving? Oh my god! Good lord. Good lord. Yeah, I don't need anywhere near that amount. I get silly on, like, a single flute of champagne. Man, the things that some people gotta do. It's mixed with Coke. Wait, so that's like the total? That's the total with the cola? See, this is just getting more confusing. I got too nosy and I just had to know. That's the total amount. Okay, then what's the fluid ounces of the alcohol? That's the question there. That's the question there. Cola is not the enemy in this equation. It's giving you sugars to help you break down. Oh my god, I don't know. Is that like a fed up with my curiosity, or is that a like, oh, well shoot, I don't know. I understand if it's fed up with my curiosity. I can't help it. I can't help it. I get stuck on things sometimes. That's the special kind of autism trait. It just depends on how much my hand You know what? Same though. You know what? Same though. I get you. Hey, you know, just in case. Just in case. Panda, welcome in. I hope you're having a lovely, lovely night. And Mark C, welcome in as well. Happy New Year's Eve to both of you. I hope you are ringing in the new year fun and safely. You have to do both of them, or I swear to God you'll have nightmares for the rest of your life. I have Mr. Streams way too much. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I should break up the times that we stream at a little bit more. I should also be more up to, like, insomnia streams again. It's been a while. I usually just, like, sit with myself in a quiet house and, like... I should get back to my insomnia streams. That might be better for me. Just finished making a mode. Hell yeah. We're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. I should have made a snack plate, but I didn't get a chance to get a bunch of easy access stuff from the grocery store today. I want something to, like, snack on, though. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe a grilled cheese? I wonder how long it would take me to make a grilled cheese. We could do it on our next break. We can make a grilled cheese on our next break. And then I don't have to worry about the sounds of me eating because we're not doing ASMR tonight. I like the freedom. I like the freedom to just be a disgusting rat man. It's just a time different thing. You know. Gotta diversify a little bit every now and again. That's the thing. This was my first response. Man, you are deep in the bottle. You are deep in the bottle. Well, I mean, you're a relatively healthy person. You seem to eat well. Have a good time with life. According to everything that I've been told by Canimals, that's about as far as you need for somebody that actually, like, tastes good. But, like, human meat is kind of funky in the first place. Grilled cheese and tomato soup. I think we have some already made tomato soup. But if not, I might just fuck with the grilled cheese. I have the stuff to make tomato soup. I have the stuff to do that, but it would take me a minute. I gotta find a way to mobilize the stream setup so I can take everybody into the kitchen just as is. I do not want to take everything apart, reassemble it in the kitchen. I just want to just move everything. I've got the cords for it and everything is in the right place, so it's just as if everything just needs to shimmy. I don't know why I can't do it. Apparently muscle is where it's at, though. Like, the more muscle you have, the more meat that's there. It's a very utilitarian thing to get buff, just in general for human beings, because it's a lot of stuff can be done with your body in the event of death. I have a question, but I'm scared. For a certain type of meat. Human meat? Human meat specifically? Oh, well, since you didn't ask Google, I suppose I can answer the question. According to those who have had human meat, in texture and composition, very, very similar to pork. Higher fat contents and not like marbling with certain cow meat. The fat seems to be pretty interspersed with everything. And of course, people who are a lot stronger and have a lot more dense muscle do tend to be tougher, but more of this is suspected because a lot of the muscle breaks down as people get closer and closer to having to engage in cannibalism. So by the time you get to that point in the first place, things have kind of decayed a bit. It's not perfect, but for those who have eaten more fresh individuals, it's a very sweet pork-like meat. And a lot of the preparation that is done for it in the terms of cooking is also very similar to how you would prepare pork. You could make pulled pork sandwiches, you could make braised pork, you could do crispy pork skin kind of thing. It's less pretty marbling. It's less pretty marbling, I will say. It's kind of just like very evenly mixed in. And certain parts of the flesh when it's cut is like you can see that very strong layer of fat and everything, just like you would with like pork belly. I think the best spot on me is gonna be the thighs. My arm muscles are like way too tough. Way too tough. I would definitely want to be some kind of like slow roasted sweet marinade kind of affair. I think that would be really nice. I would like that. Something with like cherries and pomegranates too. Like a nice, that would be good. Last drink of the pirate gods next year. God damn. So quick. If it's heavy marbled, it really needs a slow cook. Exactly, like the roasting. The roasting is the way to go. We're all talking about cannibalism. We're not talking about anything else because we wouldn't be talking about anything else. So, if I were to say that I could just, I could just eat one of chat, one of the dust bunnies. I'm not talking about anything sick or perverse. I'm just talking about cannibalism. That's all I'm talking about. And we're not even talking about it seriously. You can't do that. That's illegal. I would never do anything illegal. The dust bunnies taste like dust. God, that's worse than a spoonful of cinnamon. Oh no, I'm gonna sneeze. I've made a mistake. Somebody get the Claritin. Oh god. Never mind, don't cannibalize the dust bunnies. I retract all statements, don't do it. You can eat each other. I'm not gonna have any part in this. Foul, disgusting procedure. Normal human cannibalism is just neat. I would never do it. Never. Absolutely not. No. Except if it was like that meat growing company. Talk about biting. I like to chew on stuff. I don't even think it's like a fixation kind of thing. A lot of people suggest that it's oral fixation. I don't think so, actually. I think it's more just like specifically the teeth. Like just, I don't know. Makes me feel like a wild animal. Returning to some kind of primal primal root that's within me. I think some people consent before death and they donate their bodies to be eaten, right? In places where that is legal to do, because it's not legal to do everywhere. You know what? No, I'm not getting into the political theory aspect of this. I shan't, not this evening, because I'm here to have fun, and nobody has fun when we get into the political theory sector because it's fucking awful. So instead, I will just say that there have been some very interesting, very, very interesting things that have occurred. Specifically, there have been instances where people have orchestrated these situations where they could partake of human meat consensually. One guy in particular lost his leg due to, I believe it was like a cycling accident. But the leg was preserved, it was clean, everything was all good. So he took it back home and he made taco meat out of it, and he and 8 friends ate it. I know, the irony of it being 8 of them all together, and they ate the leg, they ate the taco leg meat. Apparently it was really fucking good, which, again, like, tacos, duh, like, bruh, barbacoa. Turn somebody into fucking barbacoa if they want. I have a particular special interest in this category. I mean, it's a form of love, though, in my opinion. I think that's fair. And I agree. That's why vampires do it, is purely out of love. Sorry, I'm trying to fix something. I got distracted because I thought this would be easy, but I can't find the fucking menu for it. I forgot I needed to make both my Twitch and my OBS light mode, because I'm making everything that I can light mode, and I can't find the fucking setting for it. It's gonna drive me crazy. Not a vor thing. It's more rip and tear, I think. Yeah. It really depends on the context of Vampire's backstory. It's true. I like that vampires, and especially the bite, can be a metaphor for a lot of different things. Where is the... Is it just... It's not settings, because I was just fucking in settings. It's not that... Is it this one? No. Where is it? I swear to God. It's not... There it is. There's the... I found it. Light? How does that look? Ugly! I hate light mode. But that's the point. Trying to make myself allergic to looking at everything. What's classic? Also ugly! Okay, no, I'm just gonna go with the light mode. Fuck you. My eyes. I'm adjusting slowly. I'm adjusting very slowly. Yeah, what is it? There's a lovely post that I always think back to whenever I'm writing a vampire character of any kind. I'm just like, okay, what is the bite in this person's context? Because it can be murder, it can be sex, it can be the murder version of sex, it can be the birth, rebirth, death, just death and then rebirth. There's so many different little things. There's so many different little things that are just really fantastic. Okay, now where's the Twitch setting for there's... Oh god, everything is so white. Oh god, everything is so white. I'm gonna have to get used to this. I am not used to this. It makes it really easy to read chat. Holy shit. Vampire fights feel good in certain lores. In Vampire the Masquerade, there is a particular clan that actually, the bane of the clan, which is the big fault that all of them have to deal with, is that their bite is incredibly painful, where other clans at least get some kind of pleasure out of it, some more than others. but their bite is so incredibly painful that it is significantly harder to get people to consent to getting bit. And they also have to have people consent to give them blood, which is just really fucking unfortunate. It's like, man, it's not even gonna feel good for anybody in this equation. It's just gonna be bad all the way around, but you gotta do it. You gotta do it. I think their spit releases the chemicals, not the bite itself. Depends on the lure you're going for. Some people rationalize the fangs as more of a spider kind of thing, so they are just tubes. I've read some stuff where the vampires did just like suck the blood through their teeth after injecting the prey with like venom of some kind, essentially. People do a lot of different stuff with vampire lore, which is just so much fun. It's so much fun. Oh my god. I lowered my chair and it actually... my model's height changed. Oh, that's weird. I didn't realize that would happen. Never mind, I guess I'm staying here. This is what makes the most sense. Alright, I'm locking in. I'm locking in, everybody. I'm gonna adjust our music a little bit for me. If we'd like it a little bit louder, let me know. Actually, let's go to my harpsichord playlist. Yes. If it ain't Baroque, don't fix it. Oh, dude, hell yeah. This is exactly what I wanted. That should be good for volume, I think. I don't see vampires drinking from blood bags that much. It doesn't happen a whole lot. Usually there's a little bit more dignity to it. Like in the movie Only Lovers Left Alive, they do drink from blood bags a lot just so they can get very particularly quality blood. But they so elegantly and demurely poured into little glass goblets. It's very cute. It's very cute. I love that film. If anybody hasn't seen it, again, in general, just a very good piece of film media. But also, as a vampire movie, it is just great. It's got Tilda Swinton, Tom Hiddleston as Eve and Adam, respectively. It's also got the guy that played Hellboy's dad in the Del Toro films. May he rest in peace. He was a lovely, lovely actor. There's another guy that had also passed away, I believe, but I can't remember. And then the actress that played Alice in Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland movies. Really, really fucking stellar cast. Really, really stellar cast for what is a vampire anxiety attack film. Really good. Really, really good. There we go. Okay, I'm going to ignore how bright everything is. I think that's the same way as a can of fresh. Essentially. Sometimes you don't want it straight out of the package. Sometimes you do want to pour your special little beverage into its own glass. I didn't get to pester somebody about my favorite beverage today. I should have thought about getting another one before we started, because that's a really good way for, one, me to actually stay up. Two, you know, it's appropriate. It's appropriate. Stream time is for my favorite drink. I had an opportunity to pester somebody about it because I saw they were going to be trying it, and I fucking forgot. I forgot, and I feel silly about it. Does it taste better from a live person? Another one that depends on the lore. Usually the idea is yes. I kind of like it when they play with the idea that, like, it's fresh life essence that's needed, and there is no moral abject way that a vampire can behave in context. You have to feed on living people. And honestly, if you're drinking from blood bags, you shouldn't feel great about that either, because you're taking blood out of circulation that could be used for people that are sick, unless you got a whole freaky blood, like, blade blood trafficking kind of ring set up, and then, like, yeah, you're literally keeping human beings alive to just produce blood in vacuum bags. It's all fucked up. It's all fucked up, but I like it when it's all fucked up. Really great setting for storytelling. Encounter a lot is that they use animal blood instead of human. That's another one, yeah. That's another one. It's the way that Vampire the Masquerade handles it is that clans that have closer ties to animals in the first place tend to feed on them more often because animals normally are very skittish around kindred of all kinds, unless they have a specific ability that kind of lets them, like, communicate with them and make little ghoul familiars. You can be a Nosferatu with an army of rats. It's very cute. I don't actually see enough people doing that kind of thing. I need people to make more little rat armies. And maybe the stinky Nosferatu man that lives in the sewer and charms all the rats will also charm all the sewer gators. Just those kind of things. Those kinds of things are very cute. I think those are fun to play with when you have a character in these types of stories. Can you synthesize blood in a tube from a sample? Well, True Blood did that. Blade did something kind of like that, but I think it was kind of making fun of True Blood for that one. In Vampire the Masquerade, no, as far as I think anybody has tried. I think in lore it wouldn't really work either, because the idea is something to do with the fact that it's coming from a living person, and I think that some amount of suffering is necessary for it to benefit the existence of a vampire. That's my opinion. That's just my opinion. People can do whatever they want with their lore. If you're writing any kind of vampire story, you can have your fun with it. The vitae. The vitae is just blood. That's just blood. It's just the word that we use for the blood, the vitae. I'm sorry, I don't know why I started being silly about that. I just thought it's just a fun one to say. All right. Are you ready? Are you ready? I didn't think I was actually you fucking scared me. I was trying to recalibrate my brain and breathe for a moment and you scared me. The moment I close my eyes, there's a blah landing on me. How dare you? Sounds like a fancy mineral water. The vitae, don't drink it. If you see that on shelves in the new year, don't drink it. Please, God. For the lore where the bite is a hidden kind of euphoria. Yeah, there's some VTM stuff that plays with it. And there's some things that a kindred can do to make the bite, like, extra awooga, you know? Extra, you know? They can also do things that make their bodies appear more alive, and depending on how high their humanity is, they can actually engage in intercourse, kind of. So for Vampire the Masquerade kindred, the only active fluid in the body is blood. If they cry, it's blood. If they spit, it's blood. If they arrive, it's blood, you know? So there's a special ability called Blush of Life that in context just makes you appear more alive. And unless, again, you have a very high humanity stat, then you can just naturally fake it. I've still had some instances where I've seen where the DM has been like, well, you can fake like you're doing it, but like your body still doesn't make that kind of fluid anymore. And it's gross and horrifying. It's gross and horrifying in all of the best ways, I think. It's reset on you a few times. This is only 10. I was going to say, only 10 was quite surprising. I was like, that's not right. That's not correct. I don't believe you. But thank you for the stream streak regardless, Nicholas. Thank you. Parry the feelings I don't know how to deal with. How do they reproduce? They bite other people and they turn them. In VTM, they'll do it specifically for clan particular reasons. Like, there's always something that leads into somebody becoming a particular type of vampire. And sometimes you can play with it where somebody has a very opposite character type conventionally to the clan that they're being sired into, but it's because of a particular trait. Like, Ventru really like leadership and taking initiative. They really like that kind of thing. So if you are a manager at a very well-functioning company that sells particular types of products or something like that. A venture might have their eye on you because they'll be like, oh, you have very good business acumen, and that is something that the clan is looking for in this case. Somebody who has good authority, good leader skills, quote unquote, and will look for the clan / the company first, you know? So you can have somebody like that, but say that you still have somebody who takes that very particular leader initiative, but they get sired into Clan Bruja, which is known for their more rebellious nature. They do not like being told what to do or the concept of hierarchies in any way, shape, or form. The clan very rarely operates in the form of a hierarchy. So the, manager type gets turned into a Bruja. Now he has a very gung-ho attitude about potentially leading a revolution, but he might lead it in this very kind of cold corporate kind of way. He's not going to be a punk by any means. He can still be a rebel, though, and that can be the thing that he hyperfixates on managing and taking control over. It's very cool. It's very cool to play with those juxtaposition kind of ones. I do like the idea of somebody who is completely sane getting sired into Clan Malkavian and then developing psychosis because of it. And so you just have a character that slowly just loses their mind to everything that's happening to them and become completely different people than who they were when they were alive. I'm so sorry. I can yak about this forever, and I have no simple answers to any questions. I'm so sorry. It doesn't have to be intercourse. It could just be feeling good or just warm, fuzzy feeling. Yeah, exactly. Some people can get a little bit more woo-woo in lore context if they want to, but, An encounter is that they drink the vampire's blood, but once it's seen that, don't be fully drained. I think you do have to drink somebody to near death, and then you have to give them your own blood in VTM stuff, I'm pretty sure. I think they have to be essentially dying. And there have been a few cases where somebody has been brought back, quote unquote, because there was no way that they were going to survive certain injuries that they had sustained. And so they were turned to keep them alive for whatever clan shenanigans were happening. A lot of inner politic kind of stuff. A lot of that kind of navigation takes place. I wonder what the official status would be on this. On the, the turning? Oh gosh, I haven't read if there's really any difference in the V5. I haven't really read about it, actually. I feel like that if you need to feed often, you can have a nice reciprocal relationship with the human you go. Well, so when you have vampires that do create this kind of this good feeling associated from what they're doing, some humans might get a little bit attached to that feeling, just a little bit, or a lot of it. So you can go into it trying to sustain a consensual, fully informed kind of relationship, but in the same way that the human might get attached to the feeling that's generated from the pleasurable bite, a vampire can also become attached in their own special kind of a way to that particular person. And if the vampire needs to feed more often than the person is ready to give, who is the one that wins out in that scenario? Because there is a very clear prey and predator dynamic that can't be broken. It's all so fucked up. I've seen a lot of people play vampire characters where they've had to try and manage that, and it's so hard for things to work out. It's so hard for everything to be okay. There's a really fantastic one. She was playing a Thin Blood, which is somebody who is not technically a full vampire and is just trying to figure out how to navigate things. She's also not associated with a particular clan. she had apparently started feeding on her own daughter, who was getting ready to go to college. And in context, this was a problem because, especially for thin bloods, you get a certain type of energy from the person that you feed off of based on the emotions that they have. And so she had gotten into a couple sticky situations because the frustration that her daughter is feeling trying to go off to college and realizing that her mother suddenly can't leave the house during the day or be seen during the day at all, and probably now has to manage a household with a bunch of other kids and everything. It was wild. It created some very, very powerful situations for the characters to navigate. Humanity 10, half damage from sunlight and can heal superficial damage. Fortitude, rank 3, defy bane, convert aggravated damage to superficial. Is that to try and pass as like fully human? Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, if you're already at the humanity 10, you got Golconda. You don't have to worry about that kind of thing anymore, right? That's the whole thing. If I can get to humanity at 10, I fucking ascend. That's just what would happen, right? Oh, and the Salubri also have fortitude, don't they? I think they do. I think they do. How well could that vampire exist during the day? I figured it would be indefinitely, because that's what the Humanity 10 does. Unless that's not how that works anymore, and there's more specific stuff, or Golconda doesn't exist. Oh, that'd be so cruel. The nectar of the pirate gods is depleted, so I was listening to YouTube. Oh, good night, guard. Please don't forget to eat some food and drink some water. Thank you for hanging out with us while you were getting silly. Have a good one. Can I mention a vampire ASMR series from another VTuber? Sure. Hell yeah. I've seen a couple of really, really good VTM inspired ASMR POV scenarios. I've seen a few that are very, very good. I'm so happy that VTM fans are just all over the place making all kinds of stuff. Okay, the fireworks are starting to get shot off, and I have a couple of chapters to read. First hour, we're just yakking about VTM every goddamn time. Every time. Okay, we are going to pick up in chapter 8, right at the start of the trial for the murder of William on behalf of Justine. Are you ready? Miss Shadow. Wait. Is that the one I've... That might be one of the ones that I've seen. Oh, she's so cute! Oh my god, she's so cute. What the fuck? I like the really strong contrast of the red and blue features. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, she's a cutie. Oh, she's a cutie. I'll have to check out the vampire stuff. Give it to me. Add to watch later. Thank you. Alright. Are we ready? Is harpsichord effective for this? Maybe not Goldborg. Oh, there we go. This one's lovely. We passed a few sad hours until 11 o'clock, when the trial was to commence. My father and the rest of the family being obliged to attend as witnesses, I accompanied them to the court. During the whole of this wretched mockery of justice, I suffered living torture. It was to be decided whether the result of my curiosity and lawless devices would cause the death of two of my fellow beings. One, a smiling babe full of innocence and joy, and the other, far more dreadfully murdered, with every aggravation of infamy that could have the murderer memorable in horror. Justine was also a girl of merit and possessed qualities which promised to render her life happy. Now all was to be obliterated in the ignominious grave, and I the cause. 1,000 times rather would I have confessed myself guilty of the crime ascribed to Justine, but I was absent when it was committed, and such a declaration would have been considered as ravings of a madman, and would not have exemplarated her who suffered through me. The appearance of Justine was calm. She was dressed in mourning, and her countenance, always engaging, was rendered by the solemnity of her feelings exquisitely beautiful. Yet she appeared confident in innocence and did not tremble, although gazed on and excruciated by thousands, for all the kindness which her beauty might otherwise have excited was obliterated in the minds of the spectators by the imagination of the enormity she was supposed to have committed. She was tranquil, yet her tranquillity was evidently constrained, and her confusion had before been adduced as proof of her guilt. She worked up in her mind to the appearance of courage. When she entered the court, she threw her eyes around it and quickly discovered where we were seated. A tear seemed to dim in her eye when she saw us, but she quickly recovered herself, and a look of sorrowful affection seemed to attest her utter guiltlessness. The trial began, and after the advocate against her had stated the charge, several witnesses were called. Several strange facts combined against her which might have staggered anyone who had not such proof of her innocence as I had. She had been out the whole night on which the murder had been committed, and towards morning had been perceived by a market woman not far from the spot where the body of the murdered child had been seen afterwards. The woman asked her what she did there, but she looked very strangely, and only returned a confused and unintelligible answer. She returned to the house about 8 o'clock, and when inquired where she had passed the night, she replied that she had been looking for the child, and demanded earnestly if anything had been heard concerning him. When shown the body, she fell into a violent hysteric and left her bed, and had kept her bed for several days. The picture was then produced which the servant had found in her pocket, and when Elizabeth, in a faltering voice, proved that it was the same, an hour before the child had been missing, she had placed around his neck, a murmur of horror and indignation filled the court. Justine was called out for her defense. As the trial proceeded, her countenance had altered. Surprise, horror, and misery were strongly expressed. Sometimes she struggled with her tears, but when she was desired to plead, she collected her powers and spoke in an audible, although variable voice. "God knows," she said, "how entirely I am innocent, but I do not pretend that my protestation should acquit me. I rest my innocence on a plain and simple explanation of the facts which have been abducted against me. I hope the character I have always borne will incline my judges to a favorable interpretation where any circumstances should appear doubtful or suspicious," and then related that, by the permissions of Elizabeth, she had passed the evening of the night on which the murder had been committed at the house of the Aunt Shane, a village situated about a league from Geneva. On her return at about 9 o'clock, she met a man who asked her if she had seen anything of the child who was lost. She was alarmed by this account and passed several hours in looking for him. When the gates of Geneva were shut, she was forced to remain several hours of the night in a barn belonging to a cottage, being unwilling to call for up the inhabitants, to whom would I'm getting mush mouth already. Focus. Focus. Forgive me. Most of the night she spent there watching towards the morning. Victorian uses of repeat Oxford commas. I'm going to get you for this one. Fucking Lovecraft did it too, and it was annoying when he did it. Shelley, stop it! A period is more appropriate. You can have separate statements. Okay. Most of the night she spent here watching. Towards the morning she believed that she had slept for a few minutes. Some steps disturbed her, and she awoke. It was dawn, and she quitted her asylum that she might again endeavor to find any brother. What's an Oxford comma? It's the it's the dot right above the comma when somebody isn't necessarily explaining, like, so you know when you're making a list of things in a statement, like, for this recipe I need apples, flour, and baking soda. that you would just put a comma after apples, after flour, and before and baking soda. You would do that. In Oxford comma, as if you're doing the and kind of thing, your list, but it's like specific statements in between. On this last sentence specifically, Miss Shelley, which does not lend itself well to being read aloud. I still love you, baby, if I've ever. It's fine. It is. Most of the night she spent here watching, Oxford comma. Towards the morning she believed that she had slept for a few minutes, Oxford comma. Some footsteps disturbed her, comma. Then she awoke. These sentences are out of order and not separated properly because that was one sentence that should have been two. I'm not going to get too English teacher about it, though. It's just annoying when you have to read it out loud and you don't rehearse beforehand like a fool. That is the cross that I must bear. Where was I? If she had gone near the spot where his body lay, it was without her knowledge. That she had been bewildered when questioned by the market woman was not surprising, since she had passed a sleepless night, and the fate of poor William was yet uncertain. Concerning the picture she could give no account. I know, continued the unhappy victim, how heavily and fatally this one circumstance weighs against me, but I have no power of explaining it, and when I have expressed my utter ignorance, I am only left to conjecture concerning the possibilities by which it might have been placed in my pocket. But here also I am checked. I believe I have no enemy on earth, and none surely would have been so wicked as to destroy me wantonly. Did the murderer place it there? I know of no opportunity afforded to him for doing, or if I had, why should he have stolen the jewelry, departed with it again so soon? I commit my cause to the justice of my judges, yet I see no room for hope. I beg permission to have a few witnesses examine concerning my character, and if their testimony shall not outweigh my supposed guilt, I must be condemned, although I would pledge my salvation on my innocence. Several witnesses were called who had known her for many years, and they spoke of her well, but fear and hatred of the crime of which they supposed her guilt rendered them timorous? And unwilling to come forward. Elizabeth saw even this last resource, her excellent dispositions and irreproachable conduct, about to fail the accused, when, although violently agitated, she desired permission to address the court. Least number of sentences. Here, this is the only challenge by which I could do something like that. No. I like my lofty sentences, even if they make it difficult to read out loud. I still like them. I just get annoyed when I get mush mouth because of it. I am, she said, the cousin of the unhappy child who was murdered, or rather, his sister, for I was educated by and lived with his parents ever since, and even long before his birth. It may therefore be judged indecent in me to come forward on this occasion, but when Welcome in, TFM. I hope you're having a very, very lovely New Year's Eve. Is it already New Year's for you? Happy New Year's. You have to tell us if anything bad happens. You have to tell us if anything bad happens, because you're already ahead of us in the schedule. If the world ends and I don't get a notification 6 hours before, I'll be very upset. But I hope so far that you're having a very happy New Year. Celebrating responsibly as well. Panda, no, you broke your drawing laptop. Oh no, it crashed. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I hope everything is recoverable. I hope it wasn't like a really horrible fatal crash. Oh dear. It's been New Year's for 2 hours and 40 minutes. Is it a good New Year so far? That would also place you at, it would be 2, so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's 6 hours. 7 hours. That's 7 hours ahead. That's enough time to let me know if something terrible happens. The world imploded, by the way. Son of a bitch! I'll still spend my New Year the way that I was planning to. But welcome in, everyone. I'm trying to stay on target because we do have a couple of other stories to read. Sorry. Where was I? I may therefore be judged indecent in me to come forward on this occasion, but when I see a fellow creature about to perish through the cowardice of her pretended friends, I wish to be allowed to speak, and that may say that I know of her character. Oh wait, is this Elizabeth talking? No, this is Justine. Nope, this is Elizabeth. My bad. My bad. Still got about 6 hours. Same here. Same here. Well, it's about to be 4 hours. It was 6 hours when we started stream. It was around about 6 hours when we started stream. Now it's closer to 4. My bad. I am well acquainted with the accused. I have lived in the same house with her, and at one time for 5 and another for nearly 2 years. During all that period she appeared to me the most amiable, benevolent of human creatures. She nursed Madame Frankenstein, my aunt, in her last illness, with the greatest affection and care, and afterwards attended her own mother during tedious illness, in a manner that excited the admiration of all who knew her. After which she began to live in my uncle's house, where she was beloved by all in the family. She was warmly attached to the child who was now dead, and acted towards him like a most affectionate mother. For my own part, I do not hesitate to say that, notwithstanding all the evidence produced against her, I believe and rely on her perfect innocence. She had no temptation for such an action as to the bauble on which the chief proof rests. If she had earnestly desired it, I should have willingly given it to her. So much do I esteem and value her. A murmur of approbation followed Elizabeth's simple and powerful appeal, but it was excited by her generous interference and not in favor of poor Justine, on whom the public indignation was turned with a renewed violence, charging her with the blackest ingratitude. She herself wept as Elizabeth spoke, but she did not answer. My own agitation and anguish was extreme during the whole trial. I believe in her innocence. I knew it. Could the demon who had, I did not for a minute doubt, murdered my brother also in this hellish sport have betrayed the innocents to death and ignominy? I could not sustain the horror of my situation, and when I perceived that the popular voice of the countenances of the judges had already condemned my unhappy victim, I rushed out of the court in agony. The tortures of the accused did not equal mine. She was sustained by innocence, but the fangs of remorse tore my bosom and could not forego their hold. If anything is lost, thank you for trying to help out. I hope it helps. It's always lovely whenever people in chat try to help each other. I passed the night of unmingled wretchedness. In the morning I went to the court. My lips and throat were parched. I dared not ask the fatal question, but I was known, and the officer guessed the cause of my visit. The ballots had been thrown, and all were black, and Justine was condemned. I cannot pretend to describe what I felt then. I had before experienced sensations of horror, and I have endeavored to bestow upon them adequate expressions, but words cannot convey an idea of the heart-sickening despair that I then endured. The person to whom I addressed myself added that Justine had already confessed her guilt. That evidence, he observed, was hardly acquitted in so glaring a case, but I am glad of it, and, indeed, none of our judges like to condemn a criminal upon circumstantial evidence, be it ever so decisive. This was strange and unexpected intelligence. What could it mean? Had my eyes deceived me? And was I really as mad as the whole world could believe me to be if I disclosed the object of my suspicions? I hastened to return home, and Elizabeth eagerly demanded the result. My cousin, I replied, it is decided as you may have expected. All judges had rather that 10 innocent should suffer than one guilty should escape. But she has confessed. This was dire blow to poor Elizabeth, who had relied with firmness on Justine's innocence. Alas! How loved and esteemed is my sister! How could she put on those smiles of innocence only to betray? Her mild eyes seemed incapable of any severity or guile, and yet she has committed a murder? Soon after we heard that the poor victim had expressed a desire to see my cousin, my father wished her not to go, but said that he left it to her own judgments and feelings to decide. I will go, although she is guilty, and you, Victor, shall accompany me. I cannot go alone. The idea of the visit was torture to me, yet I could not refuse. We entered the gloomy prison chamber and beheld Justine sitting on some straw at the farther end. Her hands were manit. This word is divided up between the lines of the paragraph. Manacled? Manacled? Mangled. Fuck it. New word. Mangled. When the teacher doesn't understand the word that you have written and is like, no, it would have been better if you used this one instead. Why? Because I don't like that word. It's hard to say. She rose upon seeing us enter, and when we were left alone with her, she threw herself at the feet of Elizabeth, weeping bitterly. My cousin wept also. Oh, Justine, why did you rob me of my last consolation? I relied on your innocence, and although I was then very wretched, I was not so miserable as I am now. And do you believe me? That I am very, very wicked? Do you also join with my enemies to crush me, to condemn me as a murderer? Her voice was suffocated with sobs. Rise, my poor girl. Why do you kneel if you are innocent? Am I not one of your enemies? I believed you guiltless, notwithstanding every evidence, until I heard that you yourself had declared your guilt. That report you said is full. That report you said is false, and be assured, dear Justine, that nothing can shake my confidence in you for a moment, but your own confession. I did confess, but I confessed a lie. I confessed that I might obtain absolution, but now the falsehood lies heavier on my heart than all my other sins. And God of heaven, forgive me. Ever since I was condemned, my confessor has besieged me. He threatened a menace until I almost began to think that I was the monster that he had said that I was. He threatened excommunication and hellfire in my last moments if I continued to abdurate. Obdurate. Obdurate. I got that one. Dear lady, I had none to support me. All looked on me as wretched, doomed to ignominy and perdition. What could I do? In an evil hour I subscribed to a lie, and now only am I truly miserable. She paused, weeping, and then continued. I thought with horror, my sweet lady, that you should believe your Justine, whom your blessed aunt had so highly honored, and whom you loved, was a creature capable of a crime which none of the devil himself could have perpetrated. Dear William, dearest, dearest blessed child, I soon shall see you again in heaven, where we shall be all happy, and that consoles me, going as I am to suffer in ignominy of death. I apologize, everybody. I believe we have an ad break coming up, and I need to refill my water. This is very different than trying to whisper my way through the chapter. Very, very different. I should practice my narration more often. Holy moly. The only unfortunate part of using a lot of lofty language is sometimes people like to repeat themselves. And in terms of writing, you don't necessarily have to do that. I think you can still get across how important certain aspects are to the reader without having somebody repeat everything nearly verbatim. Like, I lived in your house for so long. Why don't you love me? I don't know why I don't love you since you lived in our house for so long. I'm sure you believe me. I do believe you, in fact, and here is why I believe you. Ah, those wonderful reasons why you believe me. I shall repeat them all verbatim. Did I skip the ad break? I didn't get a notice for it. It is usually about time that they play, though. And I need to take a break. So we're gonna do that. Getting my handy-dandy Homestuck Tarot card bookmark. We are going to take a nice little break, my dear lovely listeners, lurkers, and watchers, which I do hope that you are all having a lovely, lovely Wednesday and New Year's Eve. Take time to take care of yourselves, especially if you've been partying very hardy. Make sure you get some water, some food to eat. We're going to take a nice little bit of an extra break, so to be somewhere between 5 to 10 minutes. I will see you when we come back. Until then, enjoy the spooky lo-fi. See you soon. Welcome back from the break, everybody. I hope you took some time to take care of yourself, because you should. I got blueberries. Oh my god, they're huge. It's just all giant blueberries. They're massive. They're like the size of quarters. Dude, this one looks like a pumpkin. Hell yeah. I do hope that everybody's taking time to take care of themselves. I hope you are having a fun night. Celebrating responsibly. It's no fun to go into the new year with the hangover. It's not. That's a bad vibes. That's bad vibes. You're already starting things off on a unpleasant foot. Want to take care of yourself so you feel good. I really want a grilled cheese. And I have conscribed Kruznik to potentially make one. I also... Hold on. I think somebody subscribed anonymously. You fucking son of a bitch. Thank you. I don't know who it was, but my number went up and I noticed it. Thank you. It's very kind of you. Oh, you might not get called out because you did it anonymously. I don't give a shiz. I see you. I always see you. Sorry, I got like... I got very weird energy today. I think I mentioned it. There's just something in the air. I've been like... Not exactly like just shaking, you know? But there's just like a lot of nervous energy in my body. I gotta be careful eating the blueberries. All of that just raw antioxidant power is just gonna give me a surge. Monster is the drink that I have to calm down. Okay, where were we? We took a little bit of a break, so a refresher. Essentially all that has occurred in... Yeah, page 69. Nice. Page 68 through 74. All that has taken place is the trial of Justine, where her story is just different. It's her story is like, no, I didn't murder the child. Why would I murder the child? This doesn't make any sense. It is really weird. Yes, that I was found with this locket is really fucking weird. I still didn't murder the child. And everybody is like, you are protesting too much. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. So Justine has been convicted of murder, which probably means that she will be put to death, especially since it was the murder of a child, to steal something, supposedly. And Elizabeth and Victor have gone to the jail where she's being held, and she's just like, I was under threat. I had to give them a confession. I was under threat. Somebody was coercing me. And she and Elizabeth are just crying on the floor of the jail. And Victor, I think, is probably just like standing by, like, he's probably just thinking about the creature, honestly. It's all he thinks about now, just all the time. Can't get away from it, no matter how hard he tries. So, sorry, 1 second. I fucking hate allergies. But we're fine. I wanted to stop sniffing into the mic really grossly and obnoxiously. It's fine if I'm not congested, because it just... That's fine. But if it's like gross, I'm just... I have a very high standard for my broadcast. And that is not it. Did we just turn to this page? Oh, right. I did this at a very good time, actually. I did this at a very good time. Right at the top of the page. Okay. Are we ready? Justine, forgive me for having one moment of distrusted you. Why did you confess? But do not mourn, my dear girl, do not fear. I will proclaim, I will prove your innocence. I will melt the stony hearts of your enemies by my tears and prayers. You shall not die. You, my playfellow, my companion, my sister, perish on the scaffold. No, no, I never could survive so horrible a misfortune. Justine shook her head mournfully. I do not fear to die, she said. That pang is past. God raises my weakness and gives me courage to endure the worst. I leave a sad and bitter world, and if you must remember me, to think of me as one unjustly condemned, I am resigned to the fate awaiting me. I forgot to turn down the music after we came back. Shh. Cody, thank you for the reminder to stay hydrated. Everyone else, especially if you're celebrating. Thank you for the reminder. I think I'm just excited. And I'm being clumsy with my voice. I should. I've been lurking a lot today. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Nobody should ever be sorry about just lurking. I swear to God. Nobody should ever feel sorry for lurking. It makes me so sad when one of you apologizes for it. Do you think I mind? Do I think I mind? Fucking no. Why would I? It's honestly, it just makes it feel like even more of a radio show at that point. We haven't figured out a system to take calls from people yet. That's some kind of upgrade tree I gotta figure out. We haven't figured that out just yet. So in the meantime, if we are just like hanging out and everybody is just silently enjoying their time here, that probably means that I'm a very effective radio show host, right? Right? Yeah, I don't mind. Lurkers are great. Lurkers are the backbone of everything. I still thank anonymous subscribers when I see it, because I still want them to know that they are appreciated. I don't care how much they don't want recognition. You're getting something, because I feel like it. Hello, Sugar Spices Cutie. Welcome in. I hope you are having a lovely, lovely New Year's Eve. I am doing pretty good. I am doing pretty good. We are trying to make headway in Frankenstein, but I'm a yapper tonight. I'm just going off on everything that I possibly can, apparently. I also need to kind of recalibrate I need to recalibrate for a moment. Not entirely someone, but welcome in. I hope you're having a lovely, lovely New Year's Eve. Not yet. We're still making progress through the chapter. This one always takes me a minute. When I get to this part of the book, it always takes me a minute. I slow down with reading it because a lot of things happen very slowly. I want the when does Adam's recounting of things start? When does Adam start talking? I like Adam more. I used to call him Frankie because I thought that that was like a cute name for the son of Victor Frankenstein. Adam, though, the girlies in the Frankenstein Guillermo del Toro film fandom have decided that Adam is what we're going with, and I cannot blame them. Cannot blame them. Cursed. Okay, chapter 16 is in it. 15? History of the Cottagers. Okay. Yeah, when do we get to that? Um, that's more 11? Considerable difficulty. I remember the original. No, no, that's still my boy. When does this start? When does it start? Is it on the next chapter? Oh my god. Oh my god, it might be. We have to get to Adam. This is why I have to speed through this. We have to get to Adam. I'm making Pazool and brownies with the combination sounds where brownies are done. Pazool is not. Ah. I mean, the only reason I ever feel bad about finishing the baked goods before the main meal is that I really do just want to eat all of the baked goods, which means I don't have, like, you know, I can't appreciate as much of the full meal, but I do like me some baked goods, which, by the way, like, nah. Basil and brownie sounds like a good combo, I think. I don't know. Oh, man. I should get some brownies or like hot chocolate or something on my grocery order. I should do that. And thank you for the stream streak, someone. I appreciate it. We got 7. Holy number, don't you know? Okay. I gotta reset my voice a little bit. I have to get to Adam's part. It's so much more interesting. Shake out the nerves. Make a silly sound and shake out the nerves. My chair is so fucking loud. Don't use Astroclide to grease your chair. Experiment failed. It did not work. Use WD-40. Just use WD-40 instead. Where was I? Everybody is being very mournful. Okay, I found it. Justine shook her head mournfully. I do not fear to die. That pang is past. God raises my weakness and gives me courage to endure the worst. I leave a sad and bitter world if you remember me and think of me as one of the unjustly condemned, I am resigned to the fate that awaiting me. Learn from me, dear lady. Do not submit impatience to the will of heaven. During this conversation, I had retired to the corner of the prison room where I could not conceal the horrid anguish that possessed me. I'm going to go stand in the corner now. That is Victor's recourse here. I am going to stand in the corner away from the women that are weeping together. I gnashed my teeth and ground them together, uttering a groan that came from my inmost soul. Justine started. When she saw who it was, she approached me and said, Dear sir, you are very kind to visit me. You, I hope, do not believe that I am guilty. I could not answer. No, Justine, said Elizabeth. He is more convinced of your innocence than I was, for even when he heard that you had confessed, he did not credit it. I truly thank him. In these last moments, I feel the sincerest gratitude towards those who think of me with kindness. How sweet is the affection of others to such a wretch as I am. It removes more than half of my misfortune, and I feel as if I could die in peace now that my innocence is acknowledged by you, dear lady, and your cousin. Thus the sufferer tried to comfort others and herself. She indeed gained the resignation she desired. But I, the true murderer, it's fucking Adam, he's coming for us. Adam is shooting off explosives far off in the Arctic, and it just rings through the valley. I actually don't know if anybody can hear the fireworks in the background. The town of Nowhere really likes exploding things. Really, really just loves blowing stuff up. It's a community tradition. It's a community tradition. There we go. Why is our music so quiet? I'm sorry I've been messing with it so much tonight. I want the vibes to be right for a good celebration. Where was I? Just fucking Victor. This is always fucking Victor. But I, the true murderer, felt the never-dying worm alive in my bosom, which allowed of no hope or consolation. Elizabeth also wept and was unhappy, but hers was also the misery of innocence, which, like a cloud that passed over the fair moon, for a while hides but cannot tarnish its brightness. Anguish and despair had predated into the corner of my heart. I bore a hell within me which nothing could extinguish. We stayed several hours with Justine, and it with the great difficulty that Elizabeth could tear herself away. I wish that I were to die with you. I cannot live in this world of misery. Justine assumed an air of cheerfulness, while she with difficulty repressed her bitter tears. She embraced Elizabeth and said in a voice of half-suppressed emotion, "Farewell, my sweet lady, my dearest Elizabeth, my beloved and only friend. May heaven, in its bounty, bless and preserve you. May this be the last misfortune that you will ever suffer. Live and be happy, and make others so." And on the morrow, Justine died. Elizabeth's heart-rendering eloquence failed to move the judges from their settled conviction in the criminality of the saintly sufferer. My passionate and indignant appeals were lost upon them, and when I received their cold answers and heard the harsh, unfeeling reasoning of these men, my proposed avowal died away on my lips. Thus I might proclaim myself a madman, but not revoke the sentence passed upon the wretched victim. She perished on the scaffolding as a murderess. From the torturers of my own heart, I returned to contemplate the deep and voiceless grief of Elizabeth. This also was my doing, and my father's woe and the desolation of that late so smiling home. All was the work of my thrice accursed hands. Ye weep, unhappy ones, but these are not your last tears. Again shall you raise the funeral wail, and the sound of your lamentations shall again and again be heard. Frankenstein, your son, your kinsman, your early much-loved friend, he who would spend each vital drop of blood for your sakes, who has no thought nor sense of joy except as it is mirrored also in your dear countenances, who would fill the air with blessings and spend his life in serving you. He bids you weep, to shed countless tears, happy beyond his hopes in thus inexorable fate. Be satisfied, and if the destruction pause before the peace of grave have succeeded to your sad torments. Thus spoke my prophetic soul as, torn by remorse, horror, and despair, I beheld those I loved and spent vain sorrow upon the graves of William and Justine, the first hapless victims to my unhallowed arts. They're firing off more fireworks, bro. It's only fucking 8:30. It's only 8:30. They're already going off, just like every few minutes I can hear them. Some of them are testers, so I know once it gets like closer to 10 p.m. it's gonna go crazy. It's gonna go crazy. Somebody has been gearing up for this one for the past couple of events. I hope they have fun and all the animals in the neighborhood don't freak out too much. Okay, that was the end of chapter 8. That was the end of chapter 8. I do like the little speech that he gives at the end. I like how it's written. I gotta be honest with you, though. I still don't think that Victor is a reliable narrator. I still don't believe it. Because you get to this part specifically. And it's him, this whole like last paragraph right here. It's him going off on just how immense the grief his actions in creating Adam have been. Just how intense, how immense, how robust the dread and despair inflicted upon the people he cares about and all that. But then also has a couple of little parts where he's like, well, also, I know you are only going to suffer more. And it's like, how do you know that? Right. In context, this is being written down in this way because it is forward being accounted from Victor's fucking mouth. This isn't his inner monologue. This is him explaining the way that he felt in retrospect. Supposedly. And again, nobody is a reliable narrator, especially in that regard. You can't be. And he's so fucking upset about it. What is he gonna do about any of it? Fuck all. Your moaning and groaning means nothing if you ain't moving to keep people safe. Take responsibility! Anybody else really like mouth washing? Take responsibility. And they never do! They never do! I have to stress eat some blueberries now. I'm stressing myself out about it. We also got just some more like a specifically Renaissance harpsichord. That's better. That's better. There aren't any really long ones on this playlist for some reason. There's some like cello suites that are 45 minutes, dude. Trying to tell me that nobody wrote really long ones for the harpsichord? I don't believe you. This one's 12 minutes. Oh, fun. Oh, fun. I still don't believe that Victor is a reliable narrator. I can't. I can't. It's just, it makes it sound so much more pompous when it's like, this is being recounted to somebody. And again, you have to contextualize it. All the guy asked him was, what brought you to the Arctic? And this is the way that he's choosing to tell him this, which is the complete history of his own life and the context of his own mother and father's marriage, which is very weird and very suspect. It's fucking, it's uncomfortable. I can't believe him. I don't think he's as good and as virtuous as some people read him to be. I saw some people being like, ooh, baby Victor, sweet little baby Victor. I'm just, don't you fucking dare. That's a grown man that made decisions. Don't you dare. Even him in context being in college, that's when he decided to get obsessive and start robbing graves, self-isolating, and assembling the parts of the bodies that he harvested together. Man, fucking mentally broke. He's insane. No, ooh, baby Victor. No! I don't believe you. I do not buy the narrative. I'm still upset about that one analysis video that I only got 20 minutes into. I'm still upset about it. I like my reading of the story significantly more. Which is, fuck you, Victor. Oh my god. It's a fantastic little crossover that was just really appropriately timed. This artist made a Victor and Jace, Victor and Jace art from Arcane, but styled them like Victor and Adam from Frank, the, it looks great. It looks great. Victor is the monster, and Jace is Frankenstein, which is, mwah, it's excellent. No, fuck it. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna put it in the goddamn Discord. I'm going to do that now, specifically. Because I don't want to forget about it. It's really beautiful. But also just a very good, like, crossover of themes and everything. I thought people kind of got that was the point. I thought, and then I realized that I hadn't seen a lot of art reflecting that. I was like, oh man, that's so sad. It is a piece done by Veter_3. You guys can have that in the Discord though. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I'm just putting it in general because I can do whatever I want. My Discord, my rules. And it's that the rules apply to everybody else except for me. Chapter 9. Is it chapter 10 that we get to fucking talk to Adam? Adam! Adam! No. Oh god. Okay, just gonna get through chapter 9. It's only a few pages, because then we have extra spooky things to read. Nothing is more painful to the human mind than after the feelings have been worked up by a quick succession of events, the dead calmness of inaction and certainty which follows and deprives the soul both of hope and fear. Justine died, she rested, and I was alive. The blood flowed freely in my veins, but a weight of despair and remorse pressed on my heart which nothing could remove. Sleep fled from my eyes. I wandered like an evil spirit, for I had committed deeds of mischief beyond description, horrible. And more, much more, I persuaded myself was yet behind. Fire art. I know, right? I know, right? Good stuff. Good stuff. I love fan artists. Mwah. I had begun life with benevolent intentions and thirsted for the moment. Sorry. I was about to get like really into it, but I realized my breath had not caught up with my commit to the bit, but you know. I had begun life with benevolent intentions and thirsted for the moment when I should put them in practice and make myself useful to my fellow beings. Now all was blasted. Instead of that serenity of consciousness which allowed me to look back upon the past with self-satisfaction and form thence to gather promise of new hopes, I was seized by remorse and the sense of guilt which hurried me away to hell of intense tortures, such as no language can describe. In state of mind preyed upon my health, which had perhaps never entirely recovered from the first shock it had sustained. The consequences, the intended consequences of my own actions. It was the first misfortune that I suffered. I shunned the face of man. All sound of joy or complacency was torture to me. Solitude was my only consolation. Deep, dark, and death-like solitude. My father observed with pain the alteration perceptible in my disposition and habits, and endeavored my arguments deduced from the feelings of his serene consciousness and guiltless life to inspire me with fortitude and awaken in me the courage to dispel the dark cloud which brooded over me. That was a single sentence. Do you think, Victor, would not be a miracle that I should speak, but one that you should listen? Do you think, Victor? Oh my god. Do you think, Victor, that I do not suffer also? No one could love a child more than I loved you. Don't say it like that. Ew. I know they're just being lofty and poetic, but don't say it like that. Tears came into his eyes as he spoke. But it is not a duty to the survivors that we should refrain from augmenting their unhappiness by an appearance of immoderate grief. That's the best thing. Okay, so that's Gothic literature to a T. Whenever I say Gothic, I'm usually referring to it in like the literary kind of a way. Gothic literature kind of just fucks with that. That's kind of what it does. Things either sound kind of weird, or we are just completely 100% playing with taboo topics. That's usually the idea. That's why I don't like this fucking positive reading of Victor. Yes, this is the first science fiction novel. I do think that that's really fucking cool. It's a Gothic science fiction novel, though, which is even more sick. Dude. We're playing with everything in a very particular way. So, not only are we allowing ourselves the freedom to dip into very, very dark parts of humanity and the world and things that we have to deal with and everything like that, we're allowing ourselves to dip into it because we're not doing it in like bad faith. It's not to bring anything down. It's to explore those darker things intentionally with, as always, grace and tact, as always. But also, foundation of Gothic literature is irony. That's the comedy mask to the tragedy. And I love it when it happens just because the wording is kind of weird, especially if a character is already fairly suspect to you, which all of them should be. That's what Gothic literature is. Everyone should be a little bit suspect. When something like that just casually slips out, this man did marry and have multiple children with a woman that was the daughter of somebody he went to school with. It was his peer, and he had known for a very long time. And he was already an old man by normal standards when... It's just the way that things come around is very poignant. Very poignant. But that's what I like about it, is because you kind of get this like free pass to just like be disgusted by these characters. I don't have to treat them with any kind of human decency. They're not real. I keep talking about it, but it's like a character in The Amazing Digital Circus, you know? It's a word that I had not known was a thing, but never thought it would be a word while I was reading Game of Thrones. What was the word? I like stuff obviously like defenestration, or which is the act of throwing somebody out of a window. There's bludgeoning, which is the act of beating somebody to death. Just very particular words for very particular things. I do like it. I kind of want to challenge myself with some kind of vocabulary calendar this year. I think I'd like to do that, but I obviously just general good words to have, but I kind of want it to focus on like weird stuff. Like what's a really fun way to describe a corpse? Or maybe if there's a word for the specific kind of rot smell that can be in forests with a lot of moss and everything. It's not petrichor specifically, but that is a fun word. Petrichor is just the smell in the atmosphere after rain. But like there's a rot smell that some woods have. There could be words for that. I want stuff like that. There's a song called Petrichor that I heard recently. That was very good. Anyway. I'm taking psychic damage the more that I read from Victor's perspective. That's why I keep breaking away. That's why. Kind reminder to stay hydrated, everybody. Woe is me, Victor. How I suffer, how everybody around me is going to suffer because I suck. Fuck you. Fuck you, Frankenstein. Right. That's where we left off. But it is not the duty to the survivors that we should refrain from augmenting their unhappiness by an appearance of immoderate grief. It is also a duty owed to yourself, for excessive sorrow prevents improvement or enjoyment, or even the discharge of daily usefulness. Victor, we're down a maid. I need you to pick up doing the laundry. Oh no, that's so funny. Without which no man is fit for society. We're running out of women in this house, Victor. I need you to learn how to cook. This advice, although good, was totally inapplicable to my case. What did I tell you about the irony thing? It's fucking it's what makes it funny. It's what makes it funny. Sorry, 1 second. I'm gonna be gross. Okay, we're good. Sorry. When I get sick, I get lazy with my voice, which is bad because it's already suffering anyway. Take it easy on yourself. You know, just in case you haven't checked in with everything recently. This advice, all good, was totally inapplicable to my case. I should have been the first to hide my grief and console my friends if remorse had not mingled its bitterness. Take responsibility and terror with alarm, with my other sensations. Now I could only answer my father with a look of despair and endeavor to hide myself from his view. Take responsibility, you son of a bitch! About this time, we retired to our house in Belrive. This change was particularly agreeable to me. The shutting of the gates regularly at 10 o'clock and the impossibility of remaining on the lake after that hour had rendered our residence with the walls of Geneva very irksome to me. I was now free. Often after the rest of the family had retired for the night, I took the boat and passed many hours upon the water. Sometimes with my sails set, I was carried by the wind, and sometimes, after rowing into the middle of the lake, I left the boat to pursue its own course and gave way to my own miserable reflections. I was often tempted when all was at peace around me, and the only unquiet thing that wandered restless into a scene so beautiful and heavenly, if I expect some bat or the frogs, whose harsh and interruptible croaking was heard only when I approached the shore. Often, I say, I was tempted to plunge into the silent lake, and the waters might close over me and my calamities forever. But I was restrained when I thought of the heroic and suffering Elizabeth, whom I tenderly loved, and whose existence was bound up in mine. I thought also of my father and surviving brother. Should I, by my base of desertion, leave them exposed and unprotected to the malice of the fiend whom I had let loose among them? Take responsibility. At these moments I wept bitterly and wished that peace would revisit my mind, only that I might afford them consolation and happiness. But that could not be. Remorse extinguished every hope. I had been the author of unaltered evils, and I lived in daily fear lest the monster whom I had created should perpetrate some new wickedness. I had an obscene feeling that all was not over, and that he would still commit some single crime, which by its enormity should almost efface the recollection of the past. There was always scope for fear so long as anything I loved remained behind. But my abhorrence of this fiend cannot be conceived. When I thought of him, I gnashed my teeth, my eyes became inflamed, and I ardently wished to extinguish that life which I had so thoughtlessly bestowed. When I reflected on his crimes and malice, my hatred and revenge burst all bounds of moderation. I should have made a pilgrimage to the highest peak of the Andes. Could I when there have precipitated him to their base? Wait, what? Hold on. Wait. I would have made a pilgrimage to the highest peak of the Andes. That's the mountains, yes, yes, the ones that are on Andes mints, yes, yes. Could I then there have precipitated him to their base? What does precipitate mean in this context? Do I not know what the word oh God. God, I hate when that happens. You're like, wait, I thought I understood. I thought I understood. I'm typing with one hand. This is a terrible way to do this. Precipitated. Precipitated. Wait, cause an event or situation. Cause a substance to be deposited in solid form from a solution? Cells proteins were when have you ever when cell proteins were then precipitated and washed in 10% trichloric acid. Okay. The incident precipitated a political crisis. It was the cause. Huh? Could I, when there have precipitated? When there have precipitated? When there have precipitated. I swear to God, that's what it says. Could I, when there have unless he's just meaning like arriving before, if he could have just pushed him down the mountain. Or just beat him to the base of the mountain? Okay, yeah, that's what it's saying. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Just something about that one was really goofy to me. Oh dear. I wish to see him again, that I might wreak the utmost extent of abhorrence on his head and avenge the deaths of William and Justine. I'm gonna beat him up. Our house was the house of mourning. My father's health was deeply shaken by the horror of recent events. Elizabeth was sad and desponding. She no longer took delight in the ordinary occupations. All pleasure seemed to her sacrilege to just tribute. Seemed to her sacrilege. Oh, I skipped a line. Toward the dead. Eternal woe and tears she then thought was the just tribute she should pay to innocence, so blasted and destroyed. Just sounds like Stereotypical, like, Gen Z slang. That's what it sounds like. Fucking dude, she was blasted. She got annihilated. Oh man, what happened to that really nice lady in the Frankenstein family? She got fucking blasted, dude. Totally destroyed. Such a interesting way to deal with the concept of death. Where was I? Oh god. I lost it again. I'm sorry. I know I don't have to apologize, but I'm just like, fuck, where is it? She was no longer that happy creature who in early youth wandered with me on the banks of the lake and talked with ecstasy of our future prospects. The first of these sorrows which are sent to wane us from the earth had visited her, and its dimmed influence quenched her dearest smiles. When I reflected, my dear cousin, on the miserable death of Justine Moritz, I no longer see the world and its. Should I do like a Mia Goth kind of impression, like the way that she talks in the movie? A leaf for me? She's just so cute. She's just so cute. It's so cute. On the miserable death of Justine Moritz, I no longer see the world and its works as they were before appeared to me. Before I looked upon the accounts of vice and injustice that I read in books or heard from others as tales of ancient days or imaginary evils. At least they were remote and more familiar to reason than to the imagination. But now misery has come home, and men appear to me as monsters thirsting for each other's blood. Yet I am certainly unjust. Everybody believed that poor girl to be guilty, and if she could have committed a crime for which she suffered, assuredly she would have been the most depraved of human creatures. For the sake of her few jewels, to have murdered the son of her benefactor and friend, a child whom she had nursed from its birth and appeared to love as if it had been her own. I could not consent to the death of any human being, but certainly I should have thought such a creature unfit to remain in the society of men. But she was innocent. I know, I feel. She was innocent. And you are of the same opinion. And that enough confirms me. But alas, Victor, when falsehood can look so like the truth, who can assure themselves of certain happiness? I feel as if I were walking on the edge of a precipice, toward which thousands crowding and endeavoring to plunge me into the abyss. William and Justine were assassinated. Assassinated death. Guess what? What's up, Panda? Guess what? Tell me. Tell me your secrets. It got approved. Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Kick ass, Panda. Wait. What got approved? Wait a minute. You were talking about your drawing tablet earlier. What got approved? Did you get a license? Are you certified? My emote. Oh! I'm sorry. I thought the drinking was the like. I thought the emote was like the celebration of it got approved. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Congratulations. This is very cute. Apparently very effective as well. Thought I could be a test candidate. I feel like a guinea pig. I do apologize, everybody. We have an ad break that's about to start here in just a moment, like literally 10 seconds. I will encourage everyone to take some time to take care of themselves. We're going to take a little bit of a break, maybe like 5 minutes. Yeah, I'm going to get some more water. And we're going to hit up the little gamers room. So, in the meantime, enjoy the harpsichord music. I'll see you soon. One of the little things that I get joy from is eating food like a creature. It can be anything as simple as taking a little saltine cracker and gently nibbling at it like a hamster. Sometimes I take a handful of something like, hypothetically, blueberries, giant blueberries. Just like to take them in my hand and just, ow. That is so crunchy. I feel like one of those little lemurs. I can't remember exactly what they're called, but there's one video. He's just like holding two tiny little balls of rice. He's got one in each hand, and he looks so anxious because that's just how these little lemurs look. And then the person who's recording or tending to the animal is holds out a third little ball of rice, and he kind of looks in between the two balls of rice that he already has in his hand, and the third one is just like, I already, huh? I don't have 3 arms. What? Oh no. What do I do? It's very cute. It's very cute. And it's just, ow. I like eating like that. Something very entertaining about it. I did let myself be a little moody with my midnight snack the other night. I sat on the counter in my pajamas. It was so delightful. It was so delightful. Live life with whimsy. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Live life with whimsy. Everything is fun that way. I was genuinely about to, like, just start reading. I hadn't realized that we didn't come back properly. Hi. Welcome back, everyone. I was back mostly on time. Mostly. However, I am unfortunately realizing that a condition that I am dealing with this evening is getting worse. So unfortunately, we will not be able to go for too much longer. I'm basically going to finish out the chapter, wrap everything up, which is just another couple of pages. We'll do a little recount of what we've done, and then we'll call it a night. I do want to thank everybody for hanging out with us. I hope you have enjoyed the broadcast thus far. Let's bring it home. I'll try not to fuck up too much from here on out. I do not remember where I was. Damn it. Is this somebody talking? I think I jumped in the middle of dialogue. I did. Who was talking? Is this Elizabeth? Right. This was Elizabeth fucking going off. This poor girl. I know. I feel she was innocent. You are of the same opinion, and that confirms me. Alas, Victor, when a falsehood can look so like the truth. Who can assure themselves of certain happiness? I feel as if... Excuse me, I ate too many blueberries. I feel as if I were walking on the edge of a precipice, toward which thousands are crowding and endeavoring to plunge me into the abyss. William and Justine were assassinated by the murderer, and the murderer escapes. He walks about the world free and perhaps respected. But even if I were condemned to suffer on the scaffold for the same crimes, I would not change places with such a wretch. I listened to this discourse with the extremest agony. That's how I listen to all discourse. I, not in deed, but in effect, was the true murderer. Elizabeth read my anguish in my countenance, and kindly taking my hand said, My dearest friend, you must calm yourself. These events have affected me, God knows how deeply, but I am not so wretched as you are. There is an expression of despair and sometimes of revenge in your countenance that makes me tremble. Dear Victor, banish these dark passions. Remember the friends around you who center all their hopes in you. Have we lost the power of rendering you happy? While we love, while we are true to each other here in this land of peace and beauty, your native country, we may reap every tranquil blessing. What can disturb your peace? And could not such words from her whom I fondly prized before every other girl of fortune suffice to chase away the friend that lurked in my heart, fiend that lurked in my heart? Even as she spoke, I drew near to her, as if in terror lest at the very moment the destroyer had been near to rob me of her. Thus not the tenderness of friendship, nor the beauty of earth, nor of heaven could redeem my soul from woe. The very accents of love were ineffectual. I was encompassed by a cloud which no beneficial influence could penetrate. The wounded deer dragging its fainted limbs to some untrodden brake. This is a little tonally inconsistent. You know what? The opera is fine, in my opinion. The opera with the harpsichord. Yeah. Yeah, it's not bad. I like that one. Hell yeah. The wounded deer dragging its faint limbs to some untrodden brake, there to gaze upon the arrow which had pierced it, and to die, was but a type of me. So me coded. The wounded deer, the wounded fawn. So me. Sometimes I could cope with the sullen despair that overwhelmed me, but sometimes the whirlwind passions of my soul drove me to seek, by bodily exercise and by change of place, some relief from my intolerable sensations. It was during an excess of this kind that I suddenly left my home, and bending my steps towards near the Alpine valleys, sought in the magnificence, the eternity of such ser- scenes. Yeah, that's scenes. I don't know why I was putting an R in there. It's such a serene scene, to forget myself and my ephemeral, because human sorrows. My wanderings were directed towards the valley of the Chamonix as a mountain. I had visited it frequently during my boyhood. 6 years had passed then. I was a wreck, but naught had changed in those savage and enduring scenes. Savage and enduring serene scenes. I performed the first part of my journey on horseback. I afterwards hired a mule as the more sure-footed and least liable to receive injury on the rugged roads. The weather was fine to receive injury. The weather was fine to receive injury. It was about the middle of the month of August, nearly 2 months after the death of Justine, that miserable epoch from which I dated all my woe. The weight upon my spirit was sensibly lightened as I plunged yet deeper in the ravine of Arve. The immense mountains and precipices that overhung me on every side, the sound of the river raging among the rocks, and the dashing of the waterfalls around spoke of a power mighty in omnipotence, and I ceased to fear or to bend before my being less almighty than that which had created and ruled the elements, here displayed in the most terrific guise. Still, as I ascended higher, the valley assumed a more magnificent and astonishing character. Ruined castles hanging on the precipices of every tiny mountain, the pentuous Arve and cottages, every here and there peering forth from among the trees, formed a sense of singular beauty. But it was augmented and rendered sublime by the mighty Alps, whose white and shining pyramids and domes towered above all as belonging to an other earth, the habitations of another race of beings. Hell of a place to bleed out. I passed the bridge to Palazier, where the ravine, which the river forms, opened before me, and I began to ascend the mountain that overhangs it. Soon after, I entered the valley of the Carmanics. The valley is more wonderful and sublime, but not so beautiful and picturesque as that of Servox, through which I had just passed. The high and snowy mountains were its immediate boundaries, but I saw no more ruined castles and fertile fields. Immense glaciers approached the road. I heard the rumbling of thunder of the falling avalanche and marked the smoke of its passage. Mont Blanc, the supreme and magnificent Mont Blanc, raised itself from the surrounding... I have to look up this word. It's italicized. I have to look it up. Aiguilles. How do we say it?
Aiguille.
Aiguille. Aiguille? A sharp pinnacle of rock or in a mountain range. Why is it italicized? Raised itself from the surrounding...
Aiguille.
Aiguilles. Raised itself from the surrounding aiguilles, and its tremendous dome overlooked the valley. Why is it italicized? What the fuck? A tingling, long-lost sense of pleasure often came across me during this journey. Some turn in the road, some new object suddenly perceived and recognized reminded me of days gone by, and were associated with the light-hearted gaiety of boyhood. The very winds whispered in soothing accents, and maternal nature bade me weep no more. Then again the kindly influence ceased to act. I found myself fettered again to grief and indulging in all the misery of reflection. Then I spurred on my animal, striving so to forget the world, my fears, and more than all, myself, or in a more desperate fashion, I lined and threw myself on the grass, weighing down by the horror and despair. At length I arrived at the village of Carmex. Exhaustion succeeded to the extreme fatigue both of body and mind which I had endured. For a short space of time I remained at the window watching the pallid lightnings that played above Mont Blanc, and listening to the rushing of the Arve, which pursued its noisy way beneath. The same lulling sounds acted as a lullaby to my too keen sensations. When I placed my head upon my pillow, sleep crept over me. I felt it as it came and blessed the giver of oblivion. I climbed a mountain and then I went to sleep. I cried on the mountain several times. He really did just have to take a camping trip into the woods. It's like if you go for a run whenever you're really upset about something, or some people like to ride their bikes, both pedal bikes and motorcycles. I think both are cool. I get it. For some reason, speed helps us process things. I haven't figured that one out. Furry didn't talk about the go fast fallacy. I have no idea. I do hope that everybody had a fantastic time. Pretty much all of that chapter was Victor just putting himself on a mountain. That's the most important part. I do love hearing him bitch and moan about everything, though. He's such a weenie. He's such a fucking weenie. He's just like, "Aw, man, I spent so long in study being an absolute fucking insane person and digging up pieces of the dead and then stitching them together and finding alchemical ways to breathe a life into something. Sick freak. Sick freak." Considering the fact that the way to breathe life into something is to take another life, because that's how equivalent exchange works and alchemy and everything. It can't just make a soul. It has to come from somewhere. He probably did murder somebody and he just never says anything about it. He's like, I'm so guilty for making the monster. I am a murderer. I am. It's like, well, yeah, obviously. The sick freak. I don't know. I was trying to see if I had it in me to yap until 3 hours. I don't think I do. I'm sorry. I hope everybody has been enjoying Frankenstein, though. I've been having a lot of fun. Oh my god. Oh my god, there's like 500 too many people to raid. Oh god. Oh god. Oh no, there's too many people. Oh no, there's too many people. Ooh, you know what? You know what, my lovely listeners, lurkers, and watchers, my lovely dust bunnies. There is somebody who is a very, very cool member of our community who is currently doing a 24-hour live stream for charity. I think that would be really good to go give them some love if we can. If we can. I think that would be a good idea. I hope that everybody had fun tonight. I'm so hungry, dude. I'm so hungry. I'm gonna get some food pretty quick. I will try to like join in on the stream though for a little bit if I can. Otherwise, I do hope that everybody enjoys. What is the Canines for Veterans? Oh, very cool. Very, very cool charity. That's one that I've seen a lot of because it tackles multiple things. That's awesome. All right, darlings. If you will do me the favor of giving Hunty some love, we are rating Little Bat Hunty. They are a lovely, cute bat VTuber. Also does some fantastic visual novel read streams. They're doing one right now that I keep wanting to peek in on, but I'm a little late in the story. It looks very cool. So if you like what we do, you will like what they do as well. Give them some love. If you have not had a chance to, also do check out the links that are no! Check out the links that are in the description. You know where to go. You know what to do. You're smart. Do it, coward. And we'll see you all next time. Until then, this is your host, signing off.